Thank you for your time and interest in the new 32 and 64-bit PowerLink products. There are actually two components that make up what we call the Media Accountability Software Suite. This system's design is focused on minimizing revenue loss to media errors, also prevent and detect errors, and to accurately reconcile a day's activity, all while performing this in an efficient workflow. Throughout this presentation, you'll see that there are other tools as well that allow the traffic, continuity, and production personnel better search tools and to monitor media progress and to ensure its readiness. The PowerLink Media Accountability Suite is a completely rewritten solution from our more than 25 years of service to over 6,000 radio stations with PowerLink, a veritable Swiss Army knife for playlist creation, reconciliation, and media readiness. For many years, over $7 billion of advertisement revenue ran through the legacy product each year. In 2009, we were commissioned to create Proof of Play, which also won us a U.S. patent on its use of the real-time data stream for reconciling logs. You can see more about this product at proofofplay.com. It was truly ahead of its time, bringing several real-time and interactive functions to broadcasting, many of which are just now being recognized for their value. Our Media Accountability Suite is actually two pieces of software. First is the backbone of the data findings and automatic processes, which ideally runs 24/7 and on a utility computer out of sight or on our servers. It performs the actual findings and looks for new or revised logs to trigger media check, playlist reports, advertiser schedule reports, and actual playlists for the automation playout system. It's also friendly for multi-log, so if your objective includes combining logs, we have you covered. It's designed to take program logs from unlimited sources and reconcile back to those sources upon completion of the broadcast day or even during the day. Many other automatically generated reports come from this section as well. Reports showing the success of insertion order items on a program log, as well as items scheduled and reconciled from an advertisement estimate. This is a top priority for those concerned that agency-level items were scheduled and aired according to the order. Also, aggregate reports can show reporting of an agency's activity for one or more stations across a cluster or a corporation. Okay, this is an informal walkthrough of the software, the desktop component on top and the backroom component, if you will, on the bottom. We're going to choose a station, go to Continuous Reconciliation Monitor. It automatically chooses today because that's what makes sense. Now it's going through doing the findings. It's presenting it into a window, and we'll drag the window out on the screen so you can see it completely. You can see that our cursor has been taken to the current moment of the day, which is right before 5:40 or somewhere before that and after 5:20. Those are all the normally aired or not aired. This is just the dropped events, so you can sit there and watch the dropped events all day. These hotkeys can also show you the inserted and missed and also the assumed aired. And taking you back to all normal shows you right back to the current moment. Now we type in Tim Horton, and we see there are none for the day. So let's type in another search value of Kia, and you can see the list of commercials shrink as the qualifying events come onto the screen from what you've typed. So it's one of those search as you type schemes, and clearing the search brings you back to everything here. Also, seeing the program log is just one button away. It also has searches in it because, after all, there might raise the question, okay, what was scheduled? And this shows you your actual original traffic log, which is, of course, the original instructions for everything. And it comes with a complete search as well. And it shows you how many instances are found and whatnot. So that's helpful as well. And you can step through it and see the events. Now, the format of that log is really dependent on your traffic system. Some of them are more readable than others. Going back to our main screen, you can also see the as-play data because, after all, this is two pieces of data coming together. You can see the system in the background fetching it. This is your as-run information from your automation system, and it has the same kind of search. And we're searching for Kia again, and it turns up much the same, except this is just simply, what did it play type of thing, as opposed to a reconciled finding. And the contents in that are, of course, dependent on what automation system you're actually using. The controls at the bottom from left to right determine what you're going to see on the screen and how you're going to see them. In the lower left, you can actually manually select things, or you can just use the hotkeys to select the most common views. The next section to the right will determine the sort, which can be program log, cart number, advertiser, actual airtime, or the status. And moving further to the right is the search field, which is a search as you type function, as you've already seen, and a button to clear it. Moving on to another function, you can reperform a reconciliation, edit a reconciliation. This is a reconciliation that's already been done. You can come back to it, as opposed to the one we were seeing a few minutes ago, which was more real time. In here, you've got the same search as you type function. Here's where we're drilling down on all the Kia events for a prior day, clearing it out. Now we can go to see just the missed events. There were none. Any inserted and missed. Here's a few inserts. And of course, all the events that were assumed to be aired. These are live reads and whatnot. Now let's move to a section where I've had several requests from continuity folks who need to know what's in the automation system on an ongoing basis. They need to know, to be able to search it, find out what's currently available, what is out of date, etc., etc. So we're now going to view the automation inventory. This is where we dip into your automation system and we now find all the pertinent events to the station's commercial airings. And again, we can choose all or active dates. These are things that are within the kill dates, so that these are all, perfectly airable. And here are the events that are expired. We have a couple of events there that are typos, obviously, because they have dates that are later than today. And then finally, we have show future dates. These are all of the events that have not started yet, as their begin date is a future date from today. Now let's go back and do a search on Kia, and we're going to start with all the events, then filter it down to just the active ones, and then of course we can also see just the expired, all the events with Kia in them that are now expired, and any events that might start in the future, which there are none. I don't have it set up in this instance, but this can be set up to refresh every 15 minutes so that leaving this screen on their desktop will constantly refresh itself and assure them of fresh information. In the event that any scheduled events come into question, you can use View a Playlist to search them and also perform a media check test very quickly. It brings up the playlist of the date that you've selected, whatever date has been run through the system. Now you can search on that. That brings up all the Kia. And you can also just show errors. Now this is media check type errors. You can see that in the playlist, when we have this, we've got media check information. There's your scheduled duration, your inventory duration side by side, and there's your inventory title side by side with your log title. You don't have a lot of places in your systems that you can see that. And of course, your program log is always one button away, which is also searchable, as we saw previously in this video. Returning to the main menu, you can see that there are other items on there for forcing most any of the functions that PowerLink performs, such as media check reports. Choosing today's date media check report and a station, this will perform an up-to-the-moment media check report and email it. Or the other way of doing this, of course, would be to view the playlist for today, which shows media check errors with very current inventory information. You can see it going through the process here. It's querying the inventory from the automation system, which in this case is actually querying a SQL database. There goes the test, there go the emails, and that's how that's performed. Thank you for your interest in PowerLink's Media Accountability Suite. It's designed to complement your traffic and automation with user-suggested essential tools to assist traffic, continuity, and production personnel to prevent and detect media errors, and to provide a more robust environment for the daily reconciliation, as well as our real-time commercial playback performance monitor. Thank you very much.